anyone who doesn't know what tapping it was developed by a man named Gary Craig. Well, actually, prior to that, there's anyway, EFT came about, emotional freedom technique came about a couple of decades ago by a man named Gary Craig, and um, his teacher Roger Callahan had very specific things that you had to tap at the same time, and Gary was sort of like, well, what would it be like if we just tap? It doesn't matter if we tap those specific things simultaneously. And so therefore he brought a lot more ease to tapping, and then tapping has gone all different directions, spreading over the internet. But what we're essentially doing is tapping meridian points. Most of them are the ends of meridians, here at the temples, here at the inner eyes, either the beginning, like this is the beginning of the bladder meridian, this is the end of the small intestine, and the beginning of the gallbladder. And like under your nose, under your mouth, at the tops of your collarbones, which are the ends of the kidney meridian. These are very important. If you're not getting enough sleep, tapping here is so useful. So we're going to be tapping these different points. And what you do, and you can do it one of two ways. Yeah, the Hawaiian birds are amazing. Is start here, and you're not going to see this a lot on the internet, but this is very useful. You start rubbing kind of where your arms attach, where your sleeves attach to your shirt, and you say, even though, and then this is going on, I love and honor and value myself. We're going to really use the word value today. Or what you'll see more often on the internet is tapping the side of the hand like this. So even though this is going on, whatever it is, so even though I'm super annoyed at my twin flame, I love, honor, and value myself. Even though I'm super annoyed at my twin flame, you could even say whatever it is, I love, honor, and value myself. You could keep tapping there, or you could do it at the place where your sleeves attach. Even though this is going on, I'm super annoyed, I'm super bummed, I'm really sad, whatever it is, I love, honor, and value myself. And this gets energy flowing. And so we're going to go through the tapping, but what I want you to think of a scale from 1 to 10 first. This is always so useful before we do tapping. So let's say you're really annoyed, you're triggered by your twin flame. You could say, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm triggered. It's a 9, right? I am strongly triggered. I feel very emotionally all over the place. And that being a 9, then we go through the tapping sequence, which I will show you and lead you through, and then come back to it. And you say, what's the number now? Oh, well, it's down to a 6. Okay, so I'm still more than a 5, right? So I'm going to go through the whole sequence again and then see what it is, right? Now, some things take longer than others. Some things we've had in our lives longer than others. Some triggers, some challenges. You can tap with health challenges. You can tap with pain in your body. You can tap with pain in your heart, right? All various things that gets the energy flowing in a more healthy and balanced way through the meridians. So when I work with small groups, sometimes I teach a more advanced form of tapping that I learned many years ago. It's based on a thing called the Inner Demon Destroyer. We're just going to do more of a general sequence today. And then if you want to learn that other thing, it's more powerful. We can either work together one-on-one, or you can ask. All right, so let's just pick a really general thing. Like, even though I'm triggered by my twin flame. Now, you don't have to have a recent trigger. You don't have to have a trigger that happened last night or today. You could have something that happened last week or even 2 years ago, right? That still sets you off a little bit. And what I want you to do is think of that trigger like, oof, he did that, right? Ghosted me, didn't respond to something, looked at the other woman, whatever it is, right? It still gets you. And on a scale of 1 to 10, what number is that? I have to think of one. Think of one. Okay. And then I suggest for now, because this is easier to remember on the side karate chop point, I suggest you rub your chest if you can. And even though he did this, and state the thing, right? Name it. Even though he did this, and it really triggered me, I love, honor, and value myself. Even though he did that, like he wasn't straight up with me or he wasn't communicating, I love, honor, and value myself. Even though he did, I love, honor, and value myself. All right. And then the other side, even though he did this, I love, honor, and value myself. I can value myself in all sorts of ways, even though he did this. And it just set me off. It got me going. I don't understand why he would do that. I love, honor, and value myself. Even though he did this thing. I love, honor, and value myself, and I deserve to be valued. They're often showing us where we're not valuing ourselves. All right, so the inner edge of the eye, we just gently tap. I got so triggered. And then the outer edge of the eye, because he did, and then name it. You might yawn, that means energy's moving. Under eye, I got so flippin' triggered. I like to even tap right near my nose. That's the end of the large intestine meridian right there. This one here is the stomach meridian. And then under the nose, it can really get me going. Like, I just don't understand that kind of behavior, why someone would do that. Someone I really love would do that kind of crap. Under your mouth. This situation just made me lose it. Name the situation. Why can't he just be real with me? Why can't he just be easy? And then under the collarbones, even though this happened, I love, honor, and value myself. And then the crown of the head. I got so triggered. Really threw me off center. Why would you be like that? Okay, so we've done the whole, except here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tap through between all the knuckles too. This is kind of powerful. Close your eyes, open your eyes, think of this situation. And then relax. Now, once again, go into this idea of 1 to 10. How do you feel about that trigger? Usually it doesn't get worse. I've never seen it get worse, but sometimes there are different facets you become aware of. Like, let's say you feel like, oh, now you're aware of the general broad category of like when he's disregarded you or whatever. Okay. All right. So Sometimes it doesn't shift right away, and we go back into how much more specific can we get? What kind of elements, like what kind of piece sticks out for me the most and is the most irritating and annoying, right? Like I hate even thinking about it. Okay. Yeah. Just 1 second. All right. So we can do that. Let's go just to the karate chop point at the side of the hand. Even though I hate thinking about this, like it's so aggravating that this happened to me, I love, honor, and value myself. I hate this. Like, why would someone do that to me? I wish that weren't even part of my life. And still, I love, honor, and value myself. I would rather not think about it. It bothers me. Woo! It bothers me so very much. So aggravating. How could they do that? I love, honor, and value myself. Woo! Okay, put your fingers right here and think about that situation for a minute. Okay, these are called your frontal neurovasculars. They're really powerful for shifting energy. Yeah, so here's a good thought, right? In the chat, my brain is all like, I love, honor, and value myself, but they don't. Well, you're not valuing yourself enough to not get triggered, right? You're not honoring yourself enough to just tell yourself, oh, well, that was their attitude, and they're just, you know, functioning from the best level of, that they can right now, which is not very high, right? You're not minimizing it. Like, we all have memories of things that happen to us that are neutral, right? Memories maybe from 2nd grade. Oh, we were studying this in school, or even kindergarten. I remember studying letters, you know, and sounds. And those are more neutral memories. Sorry. When something triggers you in a strong way, it's clearly not a neutral memory, but you can make it into a neutral memory. But you aren't honoring yourself enough in this moment to allow it to be a neutral memory, right? To allow it to be a neutral situation, like, oh, that was just them. It's not even about me. Because anything anyone does is more about them than it is about you. And I know that you know that. But so you're not honoring yourself, actually, by allowing it to get you off your game, by allowing it to upset you. All right, so now let's go to the other side. Even though I hate even thinking about this, it's just so aggravating. Like, what kind of behavior was that? I love, honor, and value myself. Even though it's like I deserve to be treated with much better behavior, I love, honor, and value myself. Even though what they did was so awful. Like, dude, why'd you do that? I love, honor, and value myself. All right. Inner edges of the eye. That behavior was so disregarding, so awful. Outer edge of the eye, but it's in the past. It's in the past. I can let it go. Under the eye. So irritating. Super irritating that you would pull that kind of thing. Under the nose and under the mouth. You can do them simultaneously. And I choose to come back to center no matter what someone else is doing, because no one else under your collarbones has any power over me. I'm the only one with power over me. Even though it feels like he has power over me, he doesn't. And then the crown of the head. Ugh, that kind of behavior. But I let it have its significance. I gave it its significance. Inner edges of the eyes. I don't have to give it significance. Outer edges of the eyes. He was just doing he was just doing him. He maybe even couldn't think of me in that moment. Under eye. And besides, it's all designed to evolve me. Woo. It's like a PhD program in self-evolution. And under the nose and under the mouth simultaneously. And guess what? I'm strong enough to get through this. I have resilience and fortitude and everything I need under the collarbones. So even though that was aggravating behavior, frustrating, mean, crown of the head, it's mean of me to make him that powerful to affect me. That's the meanest part about this. That I let it get to me and ruin my mood. Inner edge of the eye, because that's the past. Outer edge of the eye. And when I come back to present, I have everything I need. Under the eye, I'm in charge of how I feel. He doesn't get to be. I'm in charge of that. Under the nose and under the mouth, which is real empowerment. Me being in charge of me is real empowerment. Under the collarbones, it's just training to not let me get off my game. And then the crown of the head, so I can allow myself to come back to this moment and feel better now. And then between all the fingers here, I'm gonna take a deep breath, close my eyes, open my eyes, look from down slowly to up, and back down, and relax. So now check in with yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is it? Hopefully you've had some shift there. You can always lather, rinse, repeat. So it's down a little bit. Yeah. We are the only ones in charge of our state. Even though it feels like someone else can easily knock us off, especially that twin. I totally get it. Right? And so we're the ones that give them that power. I know. It's like, I didn't give them that power. Right? I remember before I knew what a twin flame was, I was like, why does this person get to me so much? Like what he does, someone else could do that and it'd be like, okay, dude, you're weird, right? But with him, it's like, the little cartoon character that's freaked out. That was me. Allowing his behavior to get to me. And it's like, it really has no power over me except the power that I give it. And that is a thing from the Course in Miracles that talks about nothing as meaning except for the meaning that you've given it. And so let's just start to tap again and just come into right now. So right now, I'm okay. Right now, I can feel my butt in the chair or feet on the ground, whatever it is. And everything that I allow to knock me out of the present moment, I'm just going to allow to drift away. Okay. Okay. Inner edges of the eyes. I pull my energy out of that negative memory. Okay, and if it's a new memory, right, you're onto something new. Some of you may be onto something new, so a different issue. Okay, I pull my energy out of that memory, outer edge of the eye, and right back to the present. Under eye, I'm more evolved than I was at that time when this happened. And guess what? So are they. Under eye, we all learned something from it. Under mouth, even if that lesson was painful, sometimes they are. Under the collarbones. So I choose to recognize the growth that we've both had. Or if I'm not sure about his growth, the growth that I've had. And the crown of the head. Breathe and relax into now, pulling my power back to now. Embracing and loving myself now. And all the fingers. And sometimes loving and honoring myself means letting the past go. Not even understanding why they would do that, pull that stunt, behave that certain way. But I'm letting it go because it's healthier and more honoring of me. And just relax. What's present for you now? You can think back to that first issue that you tapped on. If that was still sort of a high number, and what number is that now? And know that you can always change around your verbiage, right? Like, so we're getting the number lower, which is awesome. And you can always change around your words. So, like when I first started to tap, it was like almost 20 years ago. It was a long time. And we would say pretty much the same statement for everything, like, oh, they triggered me. They triggered me. They triggered me. They triggered me. And that's still valid, but sometimes just saying whatever comes to mind is exactly what you need to say, just to tap it out and move the energy, right? If it's what comes to mind is he was a real asshole, say that. It's okay. And that's what's going to move the energy the most. A couple of things, right? If you are tapping too hard, you can make it painful. You can tap lighter. It's okay to tap lighter. It's still going to move energy. Energy, like, is so subtle. So you can tap super subtly and move the energy. But I have tapped when I've been in so much trauma, I didn't even know what to say about it. I'm just like, whoa, freak out mode. Like, he just said that, and boy, I just want to run over there and clobber him, or text something crazy back, right? And so to prevent myself from texting, it's just like, and you're just tapping through the emotion. It doesn't matter what's like, you're not even saying anything specific except maybe he's a jerk. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Just and the order doesn't really matter. It's just easier to remember this order of like inner eye, under nose, under mouth, under collarbones, like that. So that's kind of an easy order to remember. But really, if you're just freaked out and you're just tapping like whatever, it doesn't matter. But just know that these areas that we're tapping today are the ends of meridians, and you can pretty much find ends of meridians on the top of every finger too, or near the nails of every finger. So if you wanted, you could tap in a little heart shape, or tap on your toes, whatever gets the energy moving, because I know sometimes we can be so super triggered that our brains can't even come up with something like the quote correct thing to say. Just know there's, well, see, energy's moving. There's not a correct thing to say, a one thing to say. If you feel like saying something, say it, or just tap. It's all right. All right, so I want to see if there are any other questions that might be sent in. And if there are questions for the chat. So again, it's more about just doing it rather than getting it right. The points are kind of important, but again, if you're just freaking out, it's okay. Is it essential that you tap every point? No, you don't have to tap every point. You forget one, that's fine. And if you're doing multiple rounds, you'll probably get that place too. The right words, I think I answered that. You could just say this triggering experience, or this, ghosting, or whatever. You can start by how you feel. You could say, even though I feel angry, I love and value myself. Even though I feel so hurt, I love and value myself, right? So you could tap on how you're feeling. Really sad and distressed. Like, why would someone behave like that? I thought he cared about me. I guess he doesn't care about me. Really angry and distressed. Like, why can't you just be real with me, right? Like, say what you would say to him too. Like, why can't you be real with me? That is so aggravating that you would behave like this. You're being a jerk. I hate this. What did I do to deserve this? This is annoying, right? Again, do it, and done is better than perfect. Okay. Other questions. Is this really effective? Well, we've done a scale of 1 to 10, and hopefully you've gotten some relief where your number has gone down. It will be more effective if you're hydrated, so make sure you are hydrated. It would be nice to, before or during the session. There have been clinical trials in this, and there are usually good results. So sometimes, we'll get to something that doesn't seem to move, right? This one has got me. This issue, no, that's not changing. That's when it's useful to work with someone, because they can find different angles to help you, get the one nugget that's still stuck in there, like getting the tweezers and pulling out the end of that thorn. And so, different perspectives can help, especially, someone like me who's worked with a lot of people on phobias and different things with this. Let's see some of the other questions. Is it normal to yawn and burp and stuff like that? Yes. Sometimes you'll even feel tired because energy is moving and that energy's been, stuck or blocked for a while. And then, okay. So the question about what if I'm resistant or what if I'm, not sure that this will work for me, right? It might work for others, but not sure it will work for me. Tap on that first, right? Even though I feel resistant, or even though I'm not sure it will work for me, and I want it to work for me, I love and value myself. Okay. So you can start with one of those statements where it's like, I'm doubting. Okay. Even though I'm doubting, this will work for me. I love, honor, and value myself. Right. And tap on that for a minute. And, at all the points, I'm not sure this will work for me. Maybe it's worked for others, but I could be different, whatever. Just keep tapping on that. And you'll find that it's a tool, but you can keep in your toolbox, right? And just keep it in your toolbox again and again. I'm creating tap along audios and videos for different issues so that, when you're feeling really sad, you don't even have to think up your words. Oh, I'll be there with phrases for you. Or if you feel like you lost it, right? You're like, you can start to tap, but then you'll also have some audios to tap along with. So I really hope today was useful for you. I have a couple of fun things at twinflameguidance.com. The blog is always getting new info, new tips. And I have a program called How to Stop Obsessing About Your Twin Flame. And that's got its own page on the website now. And that's 5 different videos with 5 different tools to stop the obsession, because that can really be crazy making when it's interfering with your sleep and your work and your eating and all the fun you used to have because this person came into your life. So is there anything else? I answered most of the questions. And yeah, thank you so much. Reach out. Sometimes based on what people write in, I do blog posts or videos about that. And make sure you subscribe. I am in the process of putting a YouTube channel together that will have more information about twin flames, because there's a lot of crazy attitudes and opinions out there. And of course, the tarot readings that we can get sucked into and then wonder, hey, the reading said that he would reach out and he didn't, but we're still, there's still that addiction to the readings. So but I'll have different tools and things on the videos that you can use. So to make your life better, whether your twin flame is 9,000 miles away or whether they're, in the same house as you. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, people in the future, people now, and talk with you soon. twinflameguidance.com. Aloha.